Hello, good morning, and welcome to the P&B morning program this morning. And so much happened over the weekend. And just like many Nigerians expected, now we are in 2025. And as at on Monday, we had a series of conversation regarding the new year. And I believe, Mr. Abraham, you have been there in 2024 and now you're in 2025, so it's a very good one having you this morning. Good morning, viewers. My name is Issa Nuhu. Welcome to the P&B morning show, and I'm happy new year, Mr. Brown.
Issa, it's nice meeting you in 2025. And I know that 2025 is going to be great.
Indeed, I saw much expectations from Nigerians in this 2025. We saw the president making a release,
Yes.
A New Year release, and let me say his own resolutions for the 2025, saying that the country will be a brighter one, that what we experience in 2024 will not be what we are going to experience in 2025. We should have high hopes for the future.
Yes, Mr. President has been the advocate of Renew Hope. That has been his motto. So, and he keep repeating it. And that is one thing I love about him. Even when he was campaigning.
You're outside now.
No, I'm not having a side. But I want to tell you that I love people who emphasize on a thing. I love people who give positive like words. And Mr. President is one person that you can take it home. He will keep repeating it, and then he will definitely give you a sense of hope, because every Nigerian need that push of hope. That look, we know the country is not going well, but you people should have hope.
So much was said during his press release, and even during his inauguration as president. On that very day, he made sure that the issue of subsidy was removed. And immediately, some people said that the problem we faced in 2024 was as a result of his first day in office, and that we didn't actually started feeling. It was not like in the past where you see a president will be inaugurated in next 5-6 months he start releasing his policy, but he started by making sure that first subsidy was removed, and also the issue of floating of the naira dollar, and that actually impacted the country in a negative light. We saw the increment in terms of pump price of fuel. We saw the electricity tariff. So much happened in 2024, and even in 2023 when it was inaugurated. So Nigerians at some point are saying, look, is this what we actually bargained for? But now he is saying that there is hope. And
Well,
this hope is a renewed
if you
one.
look at it carefully, I always tell people that want to listen that he don't have any option than to remove the subsidy. Because of truth, if he didn't do that, even the state government cannot pay salaries. Take it or leave it. And the state governors, most of them are part of that government that took a lot of money from the previous administration.
Unfortunately, on that New Year day, when after the release, and I had a conversation with an expert in person of Rishao Aliu, he stated that one of the key problems we have in this nation are even the governors. The governors are the intermediaries between the president and the local government. When FAC allocation is allocated to them, they convert this money into dollars, and then at the end of the day, it affects the value of even our naira. So much. And just yesterday, or was it a day before, the former president Olusegun Obasanjo did raise critical issue that our refineries can't be efficient as being stated by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited. Do you think so much is happening that Nigerians are not aware of, or is the president just trying to come back limelight?
The former president Olusegun Obasanjo is one critic that I so much love, because he's more like a father to this nation. He has seen it all. He has been on the khaki president for 8 years. So I think for me, there's nothing wrong to criticize government. But what you should do criticize it very constructively. Because if you're talking about the refinery, when he came on board, 1999, Atiku advised him, Mr. President, can we just do away with the refineries the way you do away with the nitre? And then he refused. I get in it. So these are some of the challenges we have.
But based on that exclusive interview, it is stated that even at some point he had to call in Shell to come and manage the refineries, and Shell declined that they don't actually make profit from the downstream. What they make profit from is from the upstream. Yes. So coming back to manage the refinery is not a good business for them. And at the end of the year, actually had to call in Dangote. So much actually happened. Probably when he releases his biography, we will know better about some of these issues. But one key issue also between yesterday and the day before was the issue of Wiki allocating 10 billion naira for furniture and for rent of the that's the Senate President and that of the House of Reps. So many Nigerians have actually kicked against this particular issue.
Well, for me, I feel what Wiki is doing is just to I want to make these people happy with me.
Making the judiciary happy, making the legislators happy.
And
what are Nigerians benefiting from this?
For me, if you look at the way they pass the FCT budget, the supplementary budget,
the speed of light,
you see, it takes them not less than some hours, and the name was not even having. It was like, okay, those in favor, and it was just all. So for you, even if it's you, Isa, if I should do that to you, won't you do me good?
So it is rub my back, I rub your back.
Yeah, so that is just a simple thing.
So what now happened between K and the AMAC chairman? Where I realized that the AMAC chairman has released budget that was presented his way before the councillors, and then he has added
and that's why I tell people that these people are politicians. They understand the music. He knows who Wike is, and when Wike is not on your back, go out and just think of anything. So he quickly understood the music, and he said, okay, man, the best thing is, let me just buy this.
but it's very unfortunate that in the Federal Capital Territory, I know recently there was an industrial action in the Federal Capital Territory, in local government.
Of course.
That's area council. And it's very, very unfortunate because the local, the area council or the local government, as it is well known in other states, the FCT seem to be a bit different in the sense that they receive their allocation directly, even before the president said is going to implement the directment of the allocation to the accounts. That's the local government across the 774 local government. The FCT area council have been receiving their money, even under the former president. They receive so much. But the question is that we still have teachers, primary school teachers,
that are still
going
not only the primary school teachers,
the workers, primary health care. We don't even have good primary health care centers in the FCT.
Of course.
We don't have good primary schools in the FCT. Even in AMAC, the center itself, you can go to some places to discover that teachers are not in class. The teaching aids are not available. The primary health cares are not there. Even good community roads are not there. So you start questioning yourself and then you start asking, what are these area council chairmen actually doing in the FCT?
But to me, I will give it mostly to the Mekalangu administration, because it is far from what we used to have in the previous administration.
What has it done so far that has?
Because if you look at it, since he came on board, he did a lot of infrastructure in the rural area. If you go to most of the places, you go to Jahi, you go to Jukoi, you go to Orozo and all that, if you see the number of roads he does to these people, because most of them are farmers, which we know, and all they need is they need a road that will lead them out of where they are coming with their goods. So I think for AMAC, he has done a little from the others, because like we have the guy in Buhari, he's trying, though he's doing his last tenure. So you see, most of these people, and coming with the coming of
that of Buhari, I would have loved us to even discuss it in
Yes.
detail, but then still we don't have much time, and definitely so many things, so many conversation going on in the country. And today being Friday is the last official day of the week, and that's the first Friday in 2025, and so many Nigerians will definitely be happy to see that yes, we are starting the year on a very good note. I was very, very happy when Dangote refinery reduced the pump price of fuel, and NNPC also took that same direction. And we should be expecting more of things like that coming in this 2024. So we'll go on a very short break, and when we return, we'll be having our guest, who is a local government development expert in person, Mr. Ibrahim Adeyemi. He'll be joining us from his base for us to be able to have conversation on the need for our local government to triumph and for community development to also see the daylight. Welcome back from that mouth break, and just before the break we had a bit of conversation regarding the issues, or let me say the happenings, the current affairs, matters within yesterday, day before yesterday, and so much that we've actually discussed. But then now we have to streamline it to a very important conversation. And just before now, we understood the challenges that comes with the issue of the local government administration in Nigeria. And how can we better our system in the local community is to ensure that, yes, the local government chairman can actually do same as the state governors and as the president of the country in terms of equity, in terms of delivering of good governance. So for many Nigerians, we've always believed that everything should fall on the table of the president. But from the last administration to this, we are now seeing a new development, a new wave in terms of how people can manage our local government affairs. And from the time of the former president Muhammadu Buhari to that of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we've seen a transitioning in terms of ideological implementation of the local government administration. And one of the key issues that the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is trying to deal with now, excuse me, excuse me, sorry for that, is trying to deal with now is the issue of sorry, excuse me, my appeal. That's a mild reflex coming from me. Is the issue of the local government administration allocation funds, making sure that yes, the administrators manage every issue that has to do with development in the local community. And to discuss that with us this morning is Mr. Adeyemi Ibrahim, who will be joining us via Zoom. So we'll go on a very short break, and when we return, we continue. Sorry. Welcome back, and we apologize for that hiccup. But then it's nature taking its toll on me this morning. And let us quickly join Mr. Ibrahim Adem, a local government and development expert, to tell us more about his own view on local government administration and why some local government, or let me say some state governors, are also scared of this particular transitioning or development in the local government. Mr. Ibrahim, good morning and welcome to the P&B Morning Show. Yeah, it's nice having you this morning.
Good morning, Mr. Arista.
Yes, I'm very, very glad that you are now live with us this morning. And you've seen so much and you've heard so much. And as an expert, there was a time we had this conversation on how we can make our local government better. With all this happening now, what are your take generally in terms of the direction the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is taking to ensure that, yes, they receive their monthly allocation directly?
Yes, I'm with you, sir.
Okay, please, you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
The issue of local government autonomy has been one of the paramount things that's happened in last years. That the federal government is trying to grant a full autonomy to the local government, and why the state government against those autonomy. And those reasons is particularly to the state government. They see it as a way of curbing all these menace of management of funds, because they use local government as a bedrock of all these negative activities toward development in the state. Because from the onset, using what do we call this? Using the state joint, the allocation for the state government comes in. It goes directly into the state joint account. So the state governors know the amount of money that's being allocated to each of their local government within their states. So for a state government not to remit either 90% or all the 100%, so it's going to be very hard. That's why they are not allowed to be conducting election. So that's why they appoint caretaker. Even those that they conduct election, there is no free and fair elections in all the elections that they conducted, despite the fact that they want elected local government chairman that conduct election in Nigeria. There is no any opposition that wants this seat. Everything is being swept by either the Labour Party, APC, PDP, or something. And there is not going to be a way that they can be able to challenge, because within the councils of the local governments, when they have an opposition, there's going to be a debate. There's going to be within the administrations. But there is no that, because local governments has come to stay. There is nothing they can do about it. Majority of all these our state governors that you are seeing like this now, they all rise from the rank of local government against all those issues.
Okay, you stated it very clearly that the local government are actually here to stay, and definitely there are so much we are expecting from them. But over time, still, when we look at their accountability level and their target to see that also they make impact in their local government, we cannot override the fact that, despite the fact that the governors have actually been impeding on their activities, they still have little resources to actually manage. But then, in terms of transformation in their local setting, the little they can do, sometimes even them they are found wanting, not being able to do just little based on what they receive. Don't you think giving them this particular money directly will also affect or will also increase corruption in the local government?
The corruption has already eaten deep of every nook and crannies of the democracy in Nigeria, right from the top to the down, from the federal to the say to the local government, even within the ministry, department, and agency, within the MDs. So all these things that you are saying like this now, corruption is not only embedded in the local, but with the transparency and accountability, with the proper monitoring. The only thing I want the local, the state governments to be doing is to give them proper monitoring, and they should be able to account for the money that's being allocated to them. That's why we have commissioner for local government and chieftaincy or something like that. But local governments, from some of the development that we are seeing today now, local governments, they are the one that they look inward within themselves, that they generate money. That's why we have all these market fees, bicycle fees, and all those ones. There is a way that they can reform themselves, that they can be able to generate money. You understand what I'm saying now? Because,
yes, I understand.
yeah, you talk something about in other, as in earlier on, about this AMAC, when they are talking about, I think something happened recently between the chairman of AMAC and Wiki, when the chairman was saying that he was unable to have monies to buy a security van for his people, but thanks to the minister that is the one that bailed them out. And I like the response of the honorable minister of FCT. He told the people there that, okay, so when the election comes, so you people, you're supposed to decide. AMAC is having so many complex shops and all those things. They have the houses or something that they can be able to that they can be able to tax out. They can be able to generate money. They should look inward how they can be able to generate money. Now look at all these our state governors also now. Majority of their budgets now, majority of the states now, 80% is coming. They are all solely rely on IGR. Let's look inward. How can we generate money? How can we bring developments to our people? How can we bring things to our people? We can't be running administration or all these colonial, this thing. Let's look inward. Let's bring innovative. Let's bring developments to our people. Let's look at some things. Okay, if it is a market, if it is 50 naira that you are collecting before, you can double it to 100 naira, but provide them something. Provide them amenities, provide them water, provide them toilet, or the portable drinking water. Provide them a better security so that can guide their shops and goods and properties. But when you are doing that thing, you can be able to tax them so that the people can be able to remit more. And when you are allocating people to be doing that collections for you, you're supposed to be able to be accountable for it. Make sure that there is transparency inside. There is no way that the corruption is not going to happen. But the corruption that is going to be there can be only be 5%, 10% maximum. When the people that you are appointed to be doing that thing, you pay them a better fare, you pay them necessary, their better entitlement at the right time, and they are going to discharge for you. And anybody that found guilty, that despite the fact that because human being, you can't satisfy them. You can't satisfy human being. But anybody that you see that breach the trust or the laid down rules and regulation, make him a scapegoat for the rest so that they can be able to see it that no, you can't just local government is already there because it's already enshrined in the constitution. So you can't just abandon that you want to make local governments not to be existing. It's already there in the 1999 constitution, and that's what is guiding us. Is in section 7, subsection 1, is in section 160, paragraph 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's already there. It's guaranteed that local government autonomy is there. So why are we against this? I can recall vividly that when we are small that time, that the local government chairman will come, they will do the road that links to Kuduru to Quarters. You understand? But now the state government are now the ones that they are now doing the trunk zero, all those local roads. That's not the priority of the state government. That's the work of local government. Let them do it. Majority of the states now, I don't think there is this our tap or this our drinking water is running. Before, that's the work of local government. They all do that. But now, because there is no much emphasis for the local governments to do that, so all those things is not working again. So I think if there is a better synergy between the state government with the local government, with the support of the federal government, I'm very sure we are going to have a better development within our states across the Nigeria.
Mr. Ibrahim, I've heard you very well, and I want to ask a question. With this kind of elections, is it election that happen in the states or handpicking? Because most of the states, you hear complaint from the opposition that there was no election for the local councils. So what is the fate of the autonomy if you handpick people, if you pick people who you feel they will do your bidding? Then what is the essence of the local government autonomy?
Thank you, sir. That's what I said earlier. You see, from one side, they use caretaker. And when this administration came in, from the past administration, from the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, that they are trying to agitate for local government autonomy, and why the present administration, that's the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So they now push the autonomies to the National Assembly for them to grant the autonomy, which he went to the Supreme Court, that the Supreme Court later gave the that autonomy should be granted to the local government. Now, they now look for another ways. That's what I said earlier, that they use caretaker committee. If they use you or they appoint me as a caretaker and I'm not driving to the tunes of the state government, the next thing you see is they removed. Look recently to the all the election that happens last year, Kano, Kaduna, and so on and so forth. Even the Kaduna own, people are commenting on the social media, their video that they did not bring in any ballot, any election materials, and they went to go and declare that election. So it's still another ways of appointing people, but they will use the election as a camouflage, and they are going to allocate billions of naira to it that you can use this to do a development project in the state. So they will do whatever they want as means of controlling the local government. So the last time that I had a discussion with Mr. Nu, I said I will be the reform that is going on with the National Assembly, that the election should be mandated to INEC to be conducting election of local government rather than the state welcome to conducting local government election. If the state is still conducting the local government election, there is no way that we can have a credible elections within the local government elections. We have 774 local governments. All those on they are still, all the election that the state governor still conduct is still handpicking. They still pick. They use their people that they use their party to win all the elections, to sweep all the election. Kogi, APC sweep it. Kano, NNPP, Akwa Ibom. I think it's only the local government of Senate president that the APC won. LP, that's how everybody is winning. So it's still the same way. It's still the same way, or just like when you just try to rephrase from appointment or from a caretaker. So let's conduct election, but you are still subject to me, but you are still answerable to me. So the election they conducted is not credible at all. It's not free and fair. You see another ways of selecting a caretaker chairman.
So in this particular case now that you've stated it very clear that the elections were not transparent, so the governors are in the middle of all this. Why do you think the governors are jittered based on the direction the president is trying to take to make the local government more functional? The governors have always been the one unpicking those who lead this particular local government. And for the president to have direct link in terms of fund supply to the local government, they felt the president also want to hijack this local government from their hands, and that will also cripple, or probably it can also be used against them in the upcoming election. Is it a political decision, or do you think is more of let me say an economic let me say a actual divide in terms of the structure of governance? We have the federal government, the state governors, and then we also have the local government administrators.
Yeah. You see, the issue of the states being against all those these things.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
80% of their money of these are state government, all these are state governors' budgets now. It comes from a IGR. So the money of that local government relies solely. They rely solely on all those local government's money. And number two, all the issue of the state government wants to cripple them or you want to hijack their powers or something. No, it's not like that. The federal doesn't want to cripple the state government. The local government is still under the state. They are within the territory of the state. So there is no way they are going to cripple it. They can't cripple the state government's power or anything. But local government is the one that is proximity to the people. You understand, sir?
Yes.
Let's take, for example, from my state now, or your state. We have 33 or 30 local government or something. I'm from Ogumosho. I can't go to Ibadan to say, okay, I want to go and see the governors that this is the issue that we're having within our...
I think he's having a network
constituency or within our society. Is proximity to us, that is closest to us. The person that is closer to us is our local government chairman that we can be able to Sorry for the network fluctuating.
Yes, yes, we understand that.
The person that is close to us is our local government chairman. All the communities can go and meet the states, the state governors. The person that is close to us is our local government chairman. And when there is allocation that's been granted to them, the local government should be able to be efficiently manage such resources to bring development, such as healthcare, education, infrastructure, water supply. Now, according to the constitutions, everything is having what you're supposed to undo. The constitution has already spelled it out. For example, now in terms of health, primary health care is under the jurisdiction of the local government chairman. Primary school, from primary 1 to GS3, is under the jurisdiction of the local government chairman. Infrastructure, just like all this creating of Tronxy, Market Square, maintenance of all these things. Water supply, you now see that is the state governors that they are now the one doing all those things. The local government chairman is just there as a figurehead. According to what you said earlier, that some of the in Abuja or in Amak now, that people doesn't go to the some of the teachers doesn't go to the classroom. The reason why some of them doesn't go to the classroom because there is no any facilities for them. I think I saw last year either around that kind October, November, or September, within that ranges that I'm reading it on the news. That some of the teachers that they are teaching pupils, they are teaching students under the tree. Something that is happening in Abuja. They are teaching pupils under the tree because the classrooms is already dilapidated. And thanks to the Honorable Minister of SCT that quickly intervened. And all those kinds of things is happening. If you go to some of these schools in Abuja, the students are congested in the class. And according to UNESCO, there is the guidelines of a ratio of teachers to pupils in the class. But if you come to all these government schools in Abuja, you are going to be seeing 140 something. I went to this, don't let me mention the school, along this law school. I went to the school to just go and do something there. I'm seeing almost 100 plus, 90 something in a class. If you enter the class, the heat that is going to even welcome you, how is it going to be conducive for the students to be able to have a better understanding of what they are teaching them? No. But when this thing is already beginning to the local government, what the state government is supposed to do? The state government is supposed to just give proper monitoring, because there is a commissioner for the local government. Let them monitor what is going on. How did you manage these resources? This federal government is not collecting anything from you. They are even trying to help you. They are even trying to ease your body. You as the state governor, you can oversee almost 44 local government or 40 local government, 32 local government, 23 local government. You can oversee everything. But when you have somebody that is credible, that the people appointed, even if you are going to even have a say. I'm not the one that appoints you. I'm not the one that appoints the ABC local government chairman for you. You are the one that appointed it. You are the one that elected it. So when you know it, so the state governor is going to even have a say when they are complaining that they are not feeling the impact of democracy. So all those kind of things. So those are the things that are supposed to happen. And the accountability is going to even come, because now the auditor general will come and audit the account. The commissioner for local government will have to oversee the things. And all those kind of things is going to boost the grassroots participation. Everybody don't want to become a local government chairman anymore. What we are now aspiring, the list that people are aspiring, is a state state assembly. If either you go for state assembly because you know that that's where you can be able to get money. If you be a local government chairman, it's only when the governor wants to dash you something or something. So I think though is not an issue. The state governor should not see that the federal want to collect their powers from them, or they are trying to even ease their body. They are even trying to make things work for them. When there is development across all the local governments, who collects the credit? Wow. Why is it that everybody are now looking at Lagos now? Is it all the road, all the amenities that we are seeing in Lagos? Is it everything that the Governor Sanwo-Olu is the one that doing the project? Go and see what the chairman of Alimosho is doing. Go and see what the chairman of Agege is doing. Go and see what the chairman of the other local government in Lagos, what they are doing. But who collect the credit? You see the governors. So I don't think that the state governor should see it as a way that the federal wants to cripple their power. No, they are trying to help them. They want to bring.
Mr. Ibrahim, it's nice hearing you this morning, and I want to ask another question here. What is the place of the anti-graft agencies like the EFCC, the ICPC in this situation? Are we saying that the local government have autonomy, that they cannot be checked at a very regular basis to know how much they have worked for the people, to know how much they have spent, to know how much they have been allocated with? So my question is, how do we get the anti-graft agencies to be a watchdog for the Nigerian people?
The anti-graft agency, the ICPC, the EFCC, according to what they passed with the National Assembly, that they are going to do proper monitoring on how all these local governments are making use of the money. For example, I'm the chairman of ABC local government, and for my monthly allocation, I was given 100 million. From the 100 million, I should be able to account for when they come and audit, when they come and do investigations. There are things that all these are even DSS they are doing. They will do underground work. There is no way, if governments want to work, if all these our anti-graft agencies want to work, they will dig, and they are going to dig. There is no way you can hide for them. They will provide you an evidence on how you siphon the money or anything. When there is autonomy, all those anti-graft agencies will be able to do their job properly, so that there is not going to be interference between the state hindering the anti-graft agency in conducting their activities. See, recently now, Lagos, yes, I think Lagos, they are trying to take EFCC to the court that they don't want them to be checkmating their local government this thing. And the court strike it out. That no, it's not possible. So it's something that the anti-graft agency, that is their responsibility, is their duties, the duty that has been saddled to them, to check how the public fund is being used.
Ibrahim, thank you so much. I'm very, very glad you make this very, very clear that the anti-graft agency, their responsibilities to check how public funds are being used. And also, most especially the ICPC in this particular respect, they have so much to do. Because at the end of the day, everything boils down to how effective will this local government be with the funds that will be available to them. These are some of bite, and I'm very, very glad that you made it very, very clear that with the direction the president is taking, it will be a very good one for the nation, and then for many Nigerians and for the governors, they shouldn't be scared of the direction the president is taking. It will also add to their own luster as governors of the state. Indeed, it's a very beautiful morning here in the capital city, and I'm very, very glad that we have this conversation with you.
Thank you, sir. I'm really grateful for having this conversation that is going to bring positive developments to our grassroots.
Thank you so much, and once more, have a wonderful day from us here in the P&B program.
Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful day, sir.
Okay, this is how far we can go with Mr. Ibrahim Adeyemi this morning on the P&B Morning Show, making sure that, yes, the local government becomes more effective based on the policies and programs of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And we expect more of this, because we want a situation where the local government can actually work effectively. And Abraham, you raised a very important question. The truth is that there's no alternative, there's no what will I call it now? The issue of immunity. They don't have immunity. They are not protected by it. So if they misbehave, I hope those in the local community will not pounce on them. But then still, it is now the responsibility for them to be able to show that, yes, they are leaders of their local government, and we hope and pray that they will be successful based on this particular direction. So we'll go on a very short break, and when we return, we'll take some of the dailies before we call in our other guests.
Welcome back. Now we're going to look at our dailies for today.
Okay, on the dailies this morning, I believe so many Nigerians will be expecting to see, is it the reaction of Bayo Onanuga to what the president has said, or the former president has said. I was just scrolling through, and I just saw on Twitter that he's reacting to our president, former president Olusegun Obasanjo. But then still, just imagine on the front line of the Blueprint newspaper, on the front page, you see NNPCL tackles Obasanjo over operational status of Port Harcourt refinery. So is that something?
They invited him to Port Harcourt. So I'm surprised that the NNPC is the one tackling Obasanjo, because they invited him to.
No, because that is the agency he actually criticized. And I believe the reason why Bayo Onanuga is coming into this is because it is the government. Indirectly, you are attacking the government for not being transparent. But in this particular case, NNPC now is saying, look, we are up and doing.
Well, I think just the way we said at the beginning of the program, that is what you cannot take from the former president.
Yeah,
he will not just look at your face because you invited him to Port Harcourt, or you pay his fare to Port Harcourt. Then he will not tell you to your face. That is one good thing about him, and I so much love him for that. I think what he's doing is to tell them, look, what you said you're going to do, let's see it come on board. You get, if you said, okay, this thing is true, let's see it. That is what every Nigerian is agitating for. You said the refineries are working, but some other people said what they did is they brought in fuel from another modular refinery just to come and make Nigerians unnecessarily happy. Because for me, what they are trying to do is they should not make it look as if there's something so serious about this refinery. If they had given it all out in the former, I don't think we should keep having this discussion now.
That's a very good one. And I can also see on the bottom of that particular headline, it says, Dangote $750 million offer to manage refineries was rejected. I think Dangote at some point wanted to manage this refinery. But if you look at the rigmaroles between the Ahmed Rufai of Dazi, is it the downstream sector, and you look at that of the NNPC, that triangular conversation or upbeat between three of them on how they can manage the issue of Dangote refinery. You remember there was a kind of rigmarole between these two sets agency.
But I don't think Isa, would they tell me with my business on how to manage it for me? It's not possible. And that's why I love what Dangote did. For him to stand his ground and keep telling Nigerians at every point in time, this is how much these people want to siphon me. This is how much these people want to pocket me. And I'm not ready for that. If I had known, I wouldn't have even invested in this kind of...
You know, even at that particular point in time, he did say that the most dubious, or let me say, the most difficult cabal to deal with is not even that of the drug cabal. It is the oil cabals. There are so many
very strong
bureaucrats in that particular sector of the economy. And still on that blueprint, you see just beneath that particular image there, you see, stop blackmail, better days assured under Tinubu. APC replies Peter Obi after he had a press briefing.
Yes, you see, for Peter Obi, I think what he's doing is the formidable opposition. You cannot just sit down because the elections are over, then you just keep quiet. You see what happened in democracy that we imitate, like in the America and the UK. You could see that several times those in the legislative and the opposition will keep pushing it. We just saw it in South Korea, where the opposition said they have to impeach the president for not signing a bill. So that is a government that is working. So you will not just sit down that the president will bring up a bill and you just sign it. It's not possible in a democracy that is healthy. So for Peter Obi, I give it to him for always coming out to say it the way it is.
It seems like Peter Obi is even more active than even the PDP that we thought would be a major opposition, because he has always been on the front line criticizing.
The problem with the PDP is like they are trying to fight within themselves. You see, even the minister, he don't want to leave the party. He's not out of the party, so he's more like, I'm inside this thing.
The minister of FCT,
yes. So he's trying to be like, he's trying to keep making the water dirty. You understand? And that is why it makes the PDP a little bit weak on this system. If not so, PDP had it very rough during the time of the former president, where we have the likes of Lai Mohammed. Lai Mohammed will go on air at every point in time just to see how they bring down the government of Jonathan. And what we have today, the PDP is more like a toothless bulldog. The Labour Party is more like a toothless bulldog.
You know, a toothless bulldog will always die because it's a kind of animal. If you don't have anything to pounce your canine on, definitely you will not be able to live for long. And still on that same blueprint front page, you see just above that particular major headline, the World Bank disburses $1.5 billion loan to Nigeria in support of the tax bill. Wow. So what does this signify? Wow. Okay, what does this signify? Because many Nigerians have actually criticized the World Bank for ill-advising the president. Yes. And many Nigerians have said the president is always implementing the directions given to him by the World Bank and IMF.
If this, we need to look at...
This is a clear indication.
We need to look at, from what we see now is World Bank is truly in charge of this administration, because most of the things from the beginning of this administration, the first subsidy removal until this day, what we see is like he is more of, he trusts their judgment. Because if you look at the tax bill, most of what you see with the World Bank happens in the American government, in the UK, where you see they give them instruction because they are the highest bidder when it comes to the loans they collect from the World Bank. So for the World Bank to give this kind of huge amount of money, I think is to tell the government that, look, if you should be able to do this, more money is coming to your coffers. But what we are telling is, if this thing will work for the benefit of Nigerians, because we read at several quarters how this issue of tax bills work in other nations. You see, like in the UK, you as a big man, you will not have more than 2 cars in your garage. But what you have today in Nigerian setting, a politician, a local government chairman, if you go to his house, what you see cars that are not even used. You see former politicians. But if these tax bills work, I don't think these people will keep having estates that people are not even occupying. They build houses, they build mansions, they build hotels, and nobody is making use of it. So I want to believe that if this tax bill, what we read in other nations, is what is going to happen with these tax bills. For me, I want it to come on board, because it will make a lot of difference in this country.
But then if you observe, over time people have said that what the World Bank advises at the end of the day turns to regret. Most especially, why is it that? But one key aspect in all this is that they advise the developing countries on how to go about governance and the rest of it like that. Is it that we lack professionals that can actually give us the same advice? And then we've seen our professionals actually kick into some of this advice.
Yes, you see, the issue is that, you see, Nigerians are always scared. Nigerians are always scared with the former things. We could see even in the former administration of Jonathan, where the Emir of Kano, then he was the CBN governor. He advised the administration of Jonathan, don't take this amount of money. The way you are spending is not good for this nation. It will get to a point where they cannot even pay salary in this country. And they said, why is he making that kind of noise? And immediately they removed him out of that seat. That is the problem.
So we have politicians,
people, we have professionals,
who have egoistic,
they don't want to be advised
by their locals.
Yes, by their locals. So we so much believe that still, that's why you see, we still tell people that we are still under that colonization. We have been colonized. We are still colonized by these white people. If not so, while we have the likes of Sunusi, we have a lot of people who are professors in economy that should be able to tell Mr. President, we have a memo. But he will tell you they will write and nobody submit it.
Let's quickly move to the next on the line, and that's The Guardian. On the front page of The Guardian, you see on The Guardian, now if you can have The Guardian there, not Blueprint now. On the front page of The Guardian, you see Nigerians long for rewards of economic reforms. And in terms of this particular aspect, many Nigerians have said from 1999 till this date, we've had President Olusegun Obasanjo, former president. We have late Musa Yar'Adua, former president. We have former president Goodluck Jonathan. We've had Buhari, and now we're having Tinubu. That's about 5 presidents that we've had within this span of 25 years. And so many policies drafted, so many policies they try to implement. But Nigerians have been very, very patient. When are we going to actually start benefiting from all the policies that have been drafted, that have been passed as a bill, and so much? And Nigerians are waiting. When are we going to start enjoying some of these policies?
Well, just the way we said, Nigerians are anxious, Nigerians are angry, and Nigerians are hungry, because all these reforms you see right from the times of Obasanjo till date, they keep having reforms, and all they do is just to go and sit down in a tea corner, and they share the money. Like this money we see from the World Bank. It's only God that will tell us how much they're going to use for this whole reform. Have you heard Mr. President send people to go to the local areas and tell them how much this reform will be of benefit to them? Have you heard him, if not for the first time, have you heard Mr. President come to do a town hall meeting where he invite the media? For the first time he's doing that. And that is why we said, if truly what you said you want to do for the people, let it come. Like the Hausa people who said, wai kare ne yace ana biki a gidansu ya gani a kasa. That is to say, if you said you are doing a party in this organization, let's see the fruit. So Nigerians are saying, if truly you said you are doing this thing for the common good of the people, let Nigerians see it. Let it benefit the people. And that's why you see Nigerians are agitated, because right from when we return back to this democracy, nothing was implemented when it comes to reforms. Even at the National Assembly, you hear they go for sightseeing and all that. All they do is just to siphon money. So Nigerians are angry. Nigeria are not seeing anything from this reform.
Many of the legislators will take that on you, and they'll be asking you that you have to prove how they are actually siphoning money.
Is it lie?
You have your time to prove that till you take it to court.
We'll do that.
So still on the blueprint, this morning we see just beneath that same NNPC story, where we had Obasanjo NNPC differ on return of Warri Port Harcourt refinery. Just beneath it, you see the picture of the Oyo State governor there, stating that that the governor have to account for Oyo local government funds since 2019. APC tells marking the drumbeat for the 2027 election is coming, and I can see that he's actually facing so many challenges in the state. And now the All Progressive Congress in that state is saying, look, you have to account for the local government fund. So much is going to happen, and I'm seeing the the politicians taking advantage of this, most especially those who are yet to come on board. And then those who are on board and are trying to protect themselves, they'll try to make use of this they'll try to make use of this particular aspect to tie the governors, most especially those that would like to contest for the 2027 presidential election. Looking at the fact that many of them actually mismanage these particular funds, and if it's for some presidents, let me not say for this president, for some president, they would likely say, okay, I will need your support in 2027. And if you say no, you are not going to give him, you will say, okay, go and account for the local government fund. So it's another way of tying them down. And then just beneath that also, we see the former Nigerian Governors Forum leader in terms of Lukman. He says, opposition plotting new party to defeat Tinubu, says Lukman.
Well, that is what you see every day. they don't talk of how to take Nigerians out of poverty.
Or they don't differentiate between governance
so what they do
and
now, they keep talking about 2027 when the Nigerians are hungry, when Nigerians are being stabbed. What do you have in Oyo State? Is it Oyo? What do you have in Abuja here? What do you have in Anambra? We keep seeing these things, and I keep asking, why are the politicians so? Is it will I say they are heartless or something? Because if they should keep doing this, they should talk about the real thing. What is it? Not the people that vote them in? Is it not Nigerians that will use their ballot vote? And that's why I want to tell Nigerians that look, wake up, stand to your feet, and tell yourself the truth. That one naira they give you, and they will give you wrapper, they will give you 5,000 naira. It will not take you anywhere. Stand up and know the value of your vote. Because what we keep seeing is they should tell Nigerians the real thing. What they are talking about is 2027. Who is concerned about 2027? We should talk about now, not talk about 2027. Are you the owner of 2027? Let's make use of what we have now. Let Nigerians see what is happening now. It's based on that we will prove to the oppositions and the party in charge that, look, is what you give us, that is what we tell Nigerians on this system.
And it's still on this particular headline. You saw a picture. Let me say a graphics of the president and with three balloons, and the three balloons on it is inflation and taxation, and then the other one I think I'm not very clear from this my end now. But then it's moving inflation to taxation to 2025. So and then just on that same particular picture, or let me say graphic there, you see just he's blowing, okay, he's using a kind of binocular. They're saying endure, I see light ahead.
The physical
endure, I see light ahead. That's the statement using that particular vernacular. So so much to say.
So he's telling you that I'm out, I'm not going back on everything I've told you. And then that is why I love, you see, one thing I love about Mr. President is that I would say he's just too confident on himself. He will tell you to your face. Look at what he told the people media that went to see him in his house in Lagos. He said, look, I stand by my word. What I said I will do. When they brought even the issue of Wike, he said, leave Wike. Wike is my man. I love him because he's doing what we want. So I think, Mr. President, if we should have this kind of courage, what he is doing is, yes, though it's going to be hard, but the end determines the means. So we are praying that let this not be like the former. Let all this inflation, amendment of this tax reform and all that, let it come up with a lot of goodies. That is what Nigerians are saying. Because for Mr. President, he is too bold. And that is one thing I give it to him.
Okay, let us quickly move to the Punch newspaper now. And on the front page of the Punch newspaper, you see one major issue that still, let me say this one seems to be a bit different, is Labour scores governors low as allocation rise by 1.7 trillion. Because I remember during the visit of governors, of some of the governors to the president in Lagos, the Kwara State governor said within the last month, within the last 18 months, they've actually gotten enough allocation compared to the previous administration.
Good.
And that also brings to forth because some of the issues we discussed earlier with Mr. Ibrahim, our guest, on how these governors are actually making use of their funds. Because if you go to some states, it is still a water-loose situation. It's like a flooding of incompetency. You don't actually see any major development. And this is coming from the Labour now, saying that from the subsidy gained so far, despite the money that the governors have actually received, or the government have actually received, Labour scores low as allocation rise by 1.7 trillion.
Yes,
That's
yes.
NLC slams governors for neglecting agric infrastructure. Opposition thumbs down Bauchi, Ogun, and Bayelsa orders.
Yes, and truly what Labour is doing, I think is coming too late. Because to me, they need to keep checkmating. They need to keep these governors on their toes. Because what the presidency said is, for every subsidy removal, we give allocation, and to the surprise of every Nigerian, you will see a very huge amount of money is allocated to all these states. But if you go to these states, you hardly see anything to say, okay, like what we have here in the federal capital. You could see that from what the president did, he said, I removed the FCT from the treasury single bill. And what you have today is what that is signifying, that look at all the area councils, look at all the suburbs, you could see what the minister is doing, and that is what we want to see in the state. Not you collect this money, you take it to your foreign banks, and then you keep it there for some time to do what? I getting it. So what Labour is doing, for me, I want to even tell Labour that is coming too late. What this call is coming too late. They need to tell the state government, they need to hold them accountable.
I think the Nigerian Labour Congress is going to benefit from this, even at the state level. Okay. Because now they will not be tied. Their hands will not be tied. Or let me say their fists will not be tied. Okay. Because we are now having a situation of separation of power.
Okay.
Unlike in the past, the governors control the local government chairman. The governor controls the fund.
Yes.
The governor controls the judiciary of the state.
Yes,
and I know after this particular local government independency, I believe the president should move strongly, should make a major policy statement to see that yes, the judiciary is actually independent, even at the state level. Because if that is done, we are going to see a major shift whereby the governors will not just wink any kind of person and for them to do their bidding. They tell you who will be your local government chairman.
Yes.
They tell you who will be your councillor.
Yes.
They tell you who will be your state house of assembly members.
That
is what they did even in the previous election.
Look at Kaduna, look at Benue State. Most of the state, they only give all their boys, those
positions.
Yes, there was no election in all these states. All they did is just to call you to a room, take the certificate, and they call their media organizations that are loyal to them just to come and show Nigeria that shame. Isn't that a shame?
It's a shamble of itself. And I'm very, very happy. I just hope the ICPC will be strengthened. They already have the laws guiding it. The EFCC will be strengthened. They already have the laws guiding it. And also the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, that's NFIU. All these particular agencies must put their heads on ground to see that, look, our next point of action now is for us to focus on the local government. In short, they should create departments of anti-corruption in all the several local governments.
They have
but
it
do they have the personnel?
They have the personnel.
Do they have the technology to do that in all local governments?
They have, like, if you should see the EFCC in Kaduna State, they are very, very, very equipped.
Well, for that of Kaduna State, that's the regional, that's the northwest. But in terms of the look, because these are agencies that are actually covered. Okay. And I understand what it means for them to actually have all these facilities on ground. You go to all the 774 local government, including the A6 area council. The government need to do more. They need to recruit enough staff to manage these particular agencies.
Of course.
And that way they can be able to trace issues easily. But where you make it cumbersome is when you have just very few set of people in that particular unit or in that particular agency. They will not be able to do more than what they are doing. It's just like the Nigerian, the Nigerian police force. How many police do we have in the local government area? But it is even far better.
Even in the state.
It is even far better than what we are seeing in the ICPC, in the EFCC, and the NFIU. So we are expecting more from them. So let us quickly take this particular, just on that same front page of the newspaper, we have just by the top right-hand corner, It says, no governor can take insult I receive from Wike's camp. Fubara, that's the governor of Rivers State.
Well, he is just crying because definitely he would receive a lot of it. Even Wike, when he came on board, Amechi did same to him. So you see, one case with Rivers polity is that they always have these praise singers. You get the point. So if you come, if you come as a governor of Rivers State, my people will say we have to make this man we have to make him unbearable. We have to make sure we push Issa to a point that and that is what they did to Fubara. Fubara, if you look at him when he was the commissioner, you hardly hear him speak.
Was Accountant General.
Accountant General. You hardly speak. You will see him all the function. He hardly speak. But you know, the wicked boys pushed him to a world, and that is what happened. They said when you push a man to the world, if you don't have anywhere to penetrate, he will come back to you. And that is why he's giving them very hot. What he's doing now in the state, he's telling the opposition that the opposition, not even the opposition now, the opposition is having is wicked opposition. Not even APC, because for APC is more like they are being a little bit calm on him. But what you discover in Rivers, most of the people that are on his neck are the ones he removed, or the ones that are doing the bidding of the former governor, who is the minister. So what Fubara is doing is saying, is it the only one they start insulting? Jonathan, before he left to be president, he said, I was the most insulted president. And that is true. If they don't insult you, who will they insult? If they don't talk about you, is it not part of the polity? Do you want them to keep rubbing your head and shouting your praise? It's not possible. So what we said is, Fubara, wake up. All this issue of insult, leave it. Do your bidding, do your work, and the people will see what you are doing.
Okay, let's just quickly move to Daily Trust now. And on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, the front page says, tax reforms. Listen to Nigerians. Bauchi governor tells Tinubu. That's on Daily Trust newspaper this morning.
Issa, you see, this is one man I so much love in the opposition. That is the governor
in the opposition, that's PDP.
Yes. You see, Bauchi governor is one man that has spoken. And then due to the fact that he is the chairman of the Governors Forum of the PDP. Am I sure?
Yes.
Yes, so you see, that's why I so much love him, because he will tell you to your face, this is what the Nigerian people are saying. He listens to the people. And you know his title in Bauchi State. He's the word, Kauram Bauchi. So for him, he's more like the warrior. And what is the work of the warrior? He's not scared of any person. So he will tell you to your face. It's either you like it or you leave him. So for him, I love what he's doing in the opposition. He has to tell Mr. President, look, this is what the people are saying, because these people are with us. So what he's telling the president is, if you know how to go about this, bring it to the table. That is what the governors are saying, which is not wrong.
Okay, and on this same Daily Trust front page, you see a key issue on this particular front page is that I don't know if the director can still have a review of what he has here, because what I have here seems to be a bit this is the actual one. And still on this particular one, I think there was a mix-up earlier.
Okay.
5 months after, federal government yet to implement duty waiver, and this has to do with food crisis.
No, you see, for this one, I don't expect Nigerians to see anything different from what the president is saying. He only said he's going to give food waivers. Do we have food in our reserve? Do we have food in our reserve?
We should have, because
well,
I remember, if you remember our last conversation.
If you are giving waivers like what we have in the previous administration of Buhari, you could see that when he said he's giving waivers, they went and take every food from the reserve and they gave it to the state government. And what do you find out with the state government? They went and kept it in their own reserve for next election. Is it not a scam? So we are saying, even if you are giving these food waivers, don't give it directly to the state governors. Do it directly to the people. Send people that will do this one, because what we find out is most of the food they send to these states, they are being siphoned, they are being kept in the coffers of the governors.
And I think one of the key problems we are having in this country is that we don't actually have enough data to move around when it comes to welfare of the citizens.
That is the problem.
And it's difficult for Nigerians to actually know
yes.
What's the rate of childbirth today and what's the rate of death rate today. In terms of mortality and natality, we cannot actually account properly for us to be able to plan for the future.
A friend of mine that just left for Germany, he just told me something very funny, and I laughed. But for me, I took it very serious. He said the moment he got into the street where he located to, he said they know his presence, they know the number of people in that street, they know the visitors that came yesterday, they know everything about the local area there. So that's to tell you a country that is working. In Nigeria now, you see people come from all the suburbs to the central area, and they will come and do all they will come and cause nuisance and do all these unnecessary things in this central area, and they will go back. Nobody will point the finger to them to say what you are doing is wrong. You see defecation all over the potholes, the manholes, and then what do you find out? There's no way to say there's somebody that is holding anybody responsible. In the federal capital, in the central, in the seat of the president. That is
so much.
That's a problem.
There is so much issue of structural functionalism that we are not adapting. The truth is that Nigerians, we don't want to follow order. And the truth is, for a country or for any community to grow, there must be rules and there must be regulation.
Is it not the people, is it not the government that need to do that? You remember, Isa, they said we don't need a strong man, all we need is a strong institution. If you have a strong institution, Isa, I tell you sincerely, you will see when they say, look, if you do this, this is what you will find. That's so be it.
But then the people that actually abuse this are also those in power.
That is what we're saying.
This is how far we can go today on the morning P&B morning show, discussing the issue of we've actually seen on some of our dailies this morning. And on it, generally, you notice the issue of the NNPCL still repeating itself on several of these dailies. And you also notice that the president also is trying to put himself in that position where he can be able to deliver good governance to the people. But for many Nigerians, they feel, well, we are just starting the 2025, and they hope that we start on a very good note. And for us here in P&B TV, we definitely always want to be ahead to give you the best in all we do in our morning program and other subsequent program that comes up later in the day. So this is how far we can go today, and from my hand, I am Isa Nu.
I am Abraham Abba. I wish you well.
Thank you so much for joining us, and we hope to see you and for you to continue to view our station on YouTube. The Politics and Business is always the name. Have a wonderful day and stay blessed.